Hello, I am Ellie Hall, Sweet and Swoony romance author, and I am coming on here live today to read the first chapter. I love that. The first chapter of my latest release, Tommy and Mary and the 12 Days of Christmas. And I just want to let you know that the sixth book, I've written them all, the sixth book is right here, printed out and ready for editing. That comes out in December. So from now until December, I'm going strong with the Christmas romance rom-com books. So anyway, I wanted to come on, read the first chapter from Tommy and Mary and the 12 Days of Christmas. Here it is in paperback. And let's see. And first I'll read the description to you, and then I'll just read the prologue and the first chapter. So each of the books, I thought it would be fun to start and end with letters to Santa. Now these are adult women, so they're writing letters to Santa as one might be inclined to do when they're kind of at their wit's end in life or at a crossroads or whatever it is. So anyway, so I am going to read from here. I'm going to read the description of the book, and then I will read the first chapter. So if you're ready, here we go. So Tommy and Mary and the 12 Days of Christmas. Here's the blurb. No matter which way you slice it, pizza and pie are delicious, but love is complicated. Mary, my lifelong dream is to open a pizza and pie shop in my hometown. Sorry. That's not what it says. I don't know why I made that up. Start over. Mary, my lifelong dream is to open a pie shop in my hometown. But because I'm flat broke, to defray the liability, the leasing agent insists I go into business with what's sure to be a pimply pizza boy. Problem 1, he's more like an Italian Stallion. Problem 2, that tossing action really builds the biceps. Is it hot in here? I'll blame it on the oven. Problem 3, I knew Tommy in college and he still bakes my buns. Tommy, to reunite my family, I'm opening a pizza place. The catch is I have to share the space with a pie baker. Not going to happen. As a former fireman, I'm all about teamwork, but I'm not sharing the dough. Problem 1, back in college, as a joke, we made a marriage pact. Problem 2, like a pair of responsible adults, we agreed not to mix business and pleasure. Problem 3, 10 years later, Mary is still a cutie pie. Mary, with a flurry of orders, 12 families in need, and a pie thief on the loose, it's hard to know if we can crust each other. Trust, that was supposed to be trust each other. I've got pie and Tommy on my mind, and my heart. Tommy, actually, those are the least of our problems. With only 12 days until Christmas, we have to prove to the building owner that we're the best business for the spot or risk losing it to a chain coffee shop. And with all the pressure and stress, we also risk losing each other. And so again, this is the first book in the Costa Brothers Cozy Christmas Comfort romance series, following the 6 single, stubborn, and loyal brothers as they find their happily ever afters. They're clean and wholesome romance, faith-friendly, standalone books, but are best enjoyed together. So now, as I fumbled through the description that I wrote, I will read the prologue and the first chapter from the book here. So here we go. Okay, prologue. Dear Santa, I know, it's been a while. I'm also aware that I'm probably too old to be writing to you. But not sure what else to do. See, I'm hoping to be on your nice list this year. I've been good, promise. For instance, spending time with my sister has become more bearable because her kids are so cute. Just kidding, I love Nadine and them, of course. Mostly them. I think I'm still live. Okay, cool. That might go off again. I'll have to see. Okay. Okay, where was I? Okay, I'll stop now because I'm not helping my case. If you still send your helpers out to check on us, good little girls and boys, then you'll know all about the bake-a-thon, the charity work I've been doing, and the mission trip to Ecuador. And that's just this year alone. Also, I'm sorry for being a brat about the annual pony thing for Christmas. Turns out Nadine made up the story that you were going to get me one. Every year she'd say that you changed your mind and didn't bring the pony because you didn't like me, claiming I was definitely on the naughty list. What did I ever do? Makes me wonder about her missing the stocking that one time. Nam blamed the dog. However, the more I think about it, I'm not so sure Toodles was all that interested in the spa and beauty contents. Maybe Nadine was the brat. If that was you, wink wink, thanks for having my back. Anyway, as you likely know, I'm still single, unattached, available, yep, still flying solo over here, single and ready to mingle, currently accepting applications. Wait, hold up, Santa, don't worry, I'm not suggesting anything between us. I'd never, especially not with Mrs. Claus in the picture. But, you know, if you still prepare the old sleigh, rig up the reindeer or whatever, and make deliveries, I would not freak out if I woke up on Christmas morning to find a cute guy around my age with thick hair and a cute smile under the tree. In fact, I'd be forever in your debt, because the truth is, I'm starting to get lonely. Sure, I have great friends, a hobby I love, a dream I aspire toward, and all that, but I'd like someone to bake cookies for like your significant other does for you after a long day at the workshop in the North Pole. But I digress. Actually, wait. I'd make my significant other pies because that's my thing. I'll even leave one here for you with this note as an act of good faith. I hope you enjoy it, and please save a slice for Mrs. Claus. I'd love to know what she thinks. Okay, I've rambled enough. Time to get ready for my 11th wedding of the year. Yes, you read that right, though I accidentally wandered into one, so I'm not sure if it counts. But I'm so good at being part of the bridal party, they asked me to pinch hit for the ceremony because the other bridesmaid was stuck in traffic. Also, one of the weddings was for a pair of dogs. Go figure. Really, I'll stop now, but I just want to say that it's too bad none of the weddings were mine. Thanks for all the joy, light, and generosity you spread around the world. Love, Merrily, a.k.a. desperately seeking a Santa of my own. And here we go, Chapter 1. Pie, don't fail me now. The pies I bake are the best thing I know to win people over, make them happy, and brighten their days. Young, old, nurses, firemen, teachers, family, they've all said that the pies I bake equal love at first bite. I tilt my head from side to side, wondering if love at first bite could be the name of my dream pie shop. And it's a bit long. Maybe the slogan? I test it out. Pies by Merrily. Love at first bite. Nah, too clumsy. Even though it's not yet Christmas Eve, I tiptoe to the living room in case Santa passed out after eating too much of the pie I left for him. Believe it or not, that's happened, but not to Santa, at least to my knowledge. My shoulders droop. Sadly, it sits on the coffee table, fully intact. He didn't take my note either. Feeling foolish, I plop onto the couch, tempted to have a nibble. Instead, I'll bring it to Hawkridge Hollow Helpers Care Home and Senior Center, a place where homemade pie is always appreciated. I have every detail of my dream pie shop outlined, including my business plan, apron design, stickers, swag, all of it, except the name of the place. It's like the missing piece to a puzzle. I tell myself as soon as I figure out a name, I'll be able to move forward and make it happen. I gaze toward the Christmas tree. Santa, if you're listening, I really want that special gift I referred to in my letter, but if that's too big of an ask, I'll take a name and a storefront for my pie shop. Obviously, I can't have a successful relationship and run a business at the same time, so I'm good with whatever the big guy has time for this year. I'm also well aware that starting my business requires a significant investment, but I've been saving. Coins mostly, spare change, but it adds up. Nan had a saying about a penny saved. And trust me, I'm pretty sure Santa isn't listening, but I figure it can't hurt to ask, especially not when I've exhausted all other means of meeting that someone special. Thinking about this some more and seeing as Nadine calls me string cheese, the original single-serve snack, now would be the perfect time to open up shop because I don't have too many other responsibilities, or a plus one. Unless Santa pulls through, though that's not likely. I don't even have a date for Cassie's wedding, so there's that. I considered going to the next town over and asking some random guy to accompany me. I'd pay him in pie, really, it's that good, but it wimped out. I'm pretty sure everyone in Hawkridge Hollow knows about my commitment issues, not with men because I haven't had too many of them come my way. Rather, I tend to take seasonal jobs so I can leave town should an opportunity arise, like the bake-a-thon I did on HLTV, charity work with the children in the city, and the mission trip to Ecuador. I've also been to Romania and Bangladesh in the past with my church. Every time there comes a point when I start to feel attached, like I could stick around, but I know firsthand how risky that can be. Eventually I end up back home dreaming of opening a pie shop. But that would mean staying, committing. I want it so badly I can almost taste it. Today it's apple cinnamon spice. But that doesn't solve my single Pringle problem, so what am I to do? It's a cruel game of would you rather. There's nothing like attending the 11th wedding of the year alone. Granted, Ferdinand and Lady Bow Wow did have a few cute guests, which got me thinking about adopting a dog of my own, but that's a commitment and could prove challenging with the pie shop on the horizon. Someday. There are a lot of those in my life. After I do my makeup, I'm a pro at this point. I gather up the copper-colored floor-length satin bridesmaid's dress and sky-high heels. Cassie and Leon's wedding has a harvest theme appropriate for the late November event with the additional accent shades of plum, gray, and dusty rose. At this point, if the pie thing doesn't work out, I could become a wedding planner. Wouldn't that be ironic? I'd go from being forever the bridesmaid, never the bride, to being forever the wedding planner and never wed. I sigh, ruffling the wide curls I put in my blonde hair, swipe on some lipstick, and slide on my boots. Juggling my bag, the dress, and the wedding gift, I grab the pie to drop off since Santa passed on the deliciousness. I guess he's more of a cookie guy. I'll have to check if the post office still puts out the wooden box for letters for Santa like they did when I was a kid. As mentioned, I'm getting desperate here, and I know it's silly of me, an adult woman, to write Santa, but what can hurt? What can it hurt? Clouds hang in the sky, and I won't be surprised if it snows soon. The white stuff already covers the slopes of the Hawk Ridge mountain range. As I drive through the quaint ski resort town I grew up in, as usual, I wonder if I should break free. Go somewhere else. Then again, I've tried that and always end up back home. There's a reason skiers and tourists alike flock here year-round. Hawk Ridge Hollow is like a storybook town with its quaint main street lined with whimsical shops, charming architecture, and a stunning mountain backdrop. Moreover, Christmas is an event here. Another job prospect I could do is local tours. I'm not a Hawkins, all of them are now happily married, but I know as much about the area as any member of the founding family. And here on your right is Mom and Lollipops. They make the best chocolate. Now we're passing the Hawk and Whistle Pub. Their bannock bread is amazing. Next you'll see the Hawk Post, our general store, not to be confused with the post office, which is that low brick building on the left. No sign of Santa's letterbox yet, but I'll check back. I continue my mock tour. That's the Beanery, where you can get coffee, cocoa, and more, and up ahead is the Hawk Ridge Hollow Resort, your one-stop shop for everything related to snow and snow sports and winter activities. Ski, snowboard, snowshoe, ice ski, and sled. If that's not your thing, there's also a spa, pool, and numerous event spaces, ballrooms, and reception halls. That's where I'm headed for Cassie's wedding, but I take a left, passing the town that guidebooks call a cross between one of those mini-ceramic Christmas scenes and a Bavarian village. Welcome to Hawk Ridge Hollow, and thank you for joining me today. I don't tell my pretend tourists that we're taking a quick detour to the Hawk Ridge Hollow Helpers, a care home and senior center. I say a little prayer as I enter and pass the photo of Nan on the wall collage featuring residents and regulars over the years. Miss Merrily, don't you look lovely today? Did you come to finally take me up on that offer for a date? Asks Clive Hughes, one of the residents. Even better, I brought an apple pie with extra cinnamon, your favorite. If you really do know how to charm a man, Miss Merrily. If only that were true. Just be sure to share with everyone. No hogging this time. He chuckles, having passed out in the easy chair not long ago with the fork still in his hand. Okay, fine, but I want an extra big slice. Margie, one of the care workers, waves at me from behind this welcome station. My, now I know why he loves you so much. I set the pie down on the counter and lean in. Actually, he had a crush on my grandmother, and this happens to be her recipe, so I think his sights are simply set on a slice. It's a tongue twister. Extra big, I add. Well, you do look nice today. What's the occasion? Margie asks. I swish my lips to the side, and a forlorn sigh escapes. Another wedding, and on that note, I'd better hurry, otherwise I'll be late. The sadness in my voice mostly has to do with the fact that even though I still visit Hawk Ridge Hollow Helpers regularly, my favorite person is no longer there. Also, Santa, Clive is great and all, but I was hoping for interest from someone closer to my age and not previously in love with my grandmother. I park behind the Hawk Ridge Hollow Resort and hurry to the bridal suite to get ready with the other girls. Chatter greets me when I enter, and it's like the college dorm all over again. The sticky scent of hairspray, the disarray, the bubbly gushing, and giggling transport me to a time just over a decade ago when I imagined myself in a fancy white dress preparing for my big day. There you are. I was starting to worry you were going to stand me up, Cassie says while admiring her reflection in the mirror. I'll pretend the comment isn't a little dig at me. Bygones are bygones. The water is under the bridge, the fences are mended, and all that. I'm here and I brought something blue for you, I say, pulling out a small gift box and giving it a little shake. Oh, Merrily, you were always so thoughtful. Remember when she'd bake pies for everyone on the floor? Big weekend at Cossington Dorm. Cassie titters because, as usual, I'm the butt of the joke. If Cassie was the party girl, I was the house mom. She'd sometimes call me the mother hen, among other things. The girls cackle, and for one painful moment, I feel alone, and not because I'm still single, even though Cassie and the other girls always talked about how we were fremily, a combination of friends and family. I've never quite felt included or even liked. More like I'm the weird aunt who bakes pies and has 12 cats. I intentionally scold myself for always hoping she'd find a piece of cat fur in her slice, not that we had a cat living in the dorm with us. It also didn't help that I lost my parents to a car wreck when I was 4. I'm forever grateful for Nan and Grandpa taking Nadine and me in, but it's hard to commit when, time and time again, the people I love inevitably get taken away. I also tell myself that I'd better accept my fate, or even better, own it like the pie-baking boss that I am. Nan and Grandpa didn't raise a softie. I could drive the tractor by the time I was 10 and helped Grandpa stack wood, doing double duty because my sister slacked off. Whether I was outside with him or in the kitchen with Nan, it was often quiet but meaningful work, and I don't regret or resent it, but life without them, or a boyfriend, is starting to get lonely. Squaring my shoulders, I present Cassie with a small gift box. It was such an honor that you chose me as a bridesmaid. You're so sweet. Cassie pulls off the ribbon and the lid, then frowns. Oh, a handkerchief? Everyone stares at the delicate piece of cloth stitched with blue thread and the letter C along with a floral design. This was my grandmother's. Her name was Cecilia, a C name like you. I thought you should have it. She had carried it with her on her wedding day as part of the old custom for a happy marriage. I recite the rhyme about something old, something new, something borrowed. Oh, Cassie repeats. So thoughtful. Thanks. A slight wrinkle forms across the bridge of her nose, then she sets the handkerchief on the table. I ignore the unpleasant tickle in my chest and the sudden and intense desire to fade into the wallpaper. Time for a new playlist, says Ariana, the maid of honor. She saves what's turning into an awkward record scratch of a moment by turning up the music. The photographer flits around, capturing Cassie as the rest of the bridal party fawns over her. They talk about their wedding days, receptions, and married life. Before long, we're lined up. Ariana in plum, Melissa in gray, Jill in dusty rose, and me in copper. I can't help but feel a little like the 4th place trophy on the display, being the only single woman in the group. Now that we're all married, we're going to start a club, Cassie, Jill says. I'm thinking of calling it the First Wives. Very VIP, right? Her voice is so bubbly, I'm afraid she'll pop if she doesn't get Cassie's approval. None of them bother saying anything encouraging like it'll be my turn to get married next. However, like the trooper I am, I grip my mini bouquet, march down the aisle, smile when I'm supposed to, and pretend my feet don't ache in these high heels. The ceremony is lovely. I hold back the tears that spike the corners of my eyes. It's so beautiful, moving, and inspiring to see two people come together in this way. I cry at every wedding I attend. Yes, even the one with the dogs. Truly, I'm happy for Cassie and Leon, but I won't pretend that my heart doesn't hurt a little bit too. Not because Leon and I ever had any interest in each other. In fact, today is the first time meeting him. But here I am, still alone. If I'm going to stick with my sister's cheese analogy, my dating life is like Swiss. There have been a few solid guys, but mostly it's filled with holes. This reminds me to look in my grandmother's recipe box for an apple pie I vaguely recall containing cheddar cheese. After another round of photos, Ariana and I wait in front of the bathroom door. Outside the reception hall at the Hawk Ridge Hollow Resort. She says, "It's big of you to be part of the wedding after everything that happened. I mean, they were making out on your bed." She makes a gagging face. Ick. I'd hoped to avoid this topic, but braced myself for some mention of it from the moment Cassie invited me to join the bridal party. The comment doesn't do my empty stomach any favors. I should have snuck a nibble of Clive's slice of pie while I had the chance. Or I could go for a piece of cheese right now. Swiss, cheddar, whatever. If I'd walked in on Cassie making out with my guy, I don't think I'd ever been able to forgive her, Ariana goes on, clearly setting me up to gossip. Another name they had for me was House Mouse. Despite my sudden craving for cheese, I won't take the bait and fall into her trap. My voice is like a kite when I say, "Do you mean Tommy Costa? He wasn't my guy. We were just friends." Best friends. Speaking his name out loud after all this time makes my jaw tremble slightly. Weird. I must be starved. She raises and lowers her eyebrows. "Just friends, huh? Everyone thought you were a couple. Cassie said you even had a marriage pact. Is that true?" I do an awkward little shake nod of my head, trying not to let the memories get too close to the surface. Satisfied that they're not going to breach like a killer whale, I give a dismissive wave of my hand and answer, "She must have been thinking of a group of psych majors on campus that were surveying students and trying to get them to take a test to find their perfect match. It was like an old-fashioned matchmaking service combined with an early version of a dating app. They used a quiz along with some kind of algorithm to connect potential couples. Hopefully that'll pacify Ariana, or an orca will miraculously swim by and I can point and say, 'Hey, look at that!' to distract her." Inspired, Tommy and I totally took the test, and big surprise, we were a 98% match. Of course, we didn't want that prospect to interfere with our friendship, so we agreed to, get married someday, a day that's come and long gone. Ariana elbows me. "Come on, don't tell me there wasn't a little something there." Pfft, Tommy and I haven't seen each other since shortly after I walked in on him and Cassie together. I tried to play it casual like it didn't matter, but unable to hide my hurt, I rapidly retreated. Our friendship faded when I didn't answer his texts or calls. I felt betrayed, confused, and like I'd eaten more butter than popcorn. Ariana claps her hands like a giddy seal. "Well, you're in luck. Cassie invited Tommy to the wedding. He may even be at the same table since there were more bridesmaids than groomsmen. Now the fun can really begin." My stomach turns queasy. Like catching the scent of cheese in the air like a good little mouse, I sense something is afoot. "What?" I ask, but it sounds more like a guttural croak. Without answering, Ariana whisks into the bathroom. "I need one. Stat. Forget too much butter. More than a sprinkle of salt tops the proverbial popcorn. Thankfully, I know my way around the resort after working here on and off over the years, and I hurry down the hall to splash some cold water on my face. Tommaso Costa and I were friends. Best friends. For the duration of my enrollment in college, I did not have a crush on him. At least, not that I realized. It wasn't until after I left school and he was no longer a part of my life that my feelings appeared like the iceberg and the Titanic. For ages after I left school and had the realization, it was like a part of me was missing. I dreamed about meeting him on some lonely road, confessing my feelings, and him replying in kind. Then we'd get married and live happily ever after. Ha! Nadine always said my imagination was too vivid. If she'd ever bothered to help Nan and Grandpa, she'd have had plenty of time to fantasize about the guy of her dreams. I wish I could say that I dramatically bump into Tommy right here in the thickly carpeted hallway of the Hawkridge Hollow Resort. He sweeps me into his arms, asks me to dance, or does any number of other romantic things that are the start of our future. Instead, I careen into one of the catering staff who holds a tray of cupcakes at chest level. "Oh, miss, I'm so sorry." The young man moves to dab the white and dusty rose frosting with small matching wafer-like heart sprinkles off the upper part of my copper dress. I swat his hand away. "No worries, I got it. Was on my way to the ladies' room anyway." I dashed down the hall, hoping everyone else is in the ballroom and didn't see my wardrobe malfunction or notice I'm missing. Maybe I can skip the reception altogether. Cassie is having the time of her life. She won't care. As I round the corner to the elevator, I stop short. A tall, well-built man wearing a dark blue suit that's tight around his shoulders and biceps, accentuating large muscles, gets out of the elevator. A mouse-like squeak escapes my lips. Tommy Costa's brown hair is shorter than it was in college, but his espresso brown eyes are just as thoughtful and just as sharp. The smirky half-smile that lifts the corner of his mouth makes me suck in a breath. Like a fine Italian wine, he got better with age. So not fair. Locked in the tractor beam of Tommy's good looks, I become a Medusa-like statue and not a work of art by Michelangelo or something equally magnificent on display in the hallway at the resort. Oh, but he is. Anticipating a gorgeous Italian woman, his wife since things didn't work out after the make-out session with Cassie, to also emerge from the elevator and take his arm, panic flutters and flaps inside, much like my hands, seemingly against my will. If my legs weren't suddenly encased in cement, granite, or whatever sculptors used during the Renaissance period, refusing to operate, I could probably fly away since my hands won't stop moving. Alternately, I could go back around the corner and run into the stairs at the end of the far end of the hall. My dress is already ruined. It's too late to try not to sweat if I bolt. But I do perspire. A fine sheen develops at the nape of my neck above my upper lip, and I shall not mention the situation developing in my armpits. I know. Ew. The elevator dings and the door closes, breaking my trance. No Italian bombshell. It's just Tommy, alone, facing me. Instinctually, my arms fly in front of my chest as if he'd walked in on me in a dressing room. The remaining frosting sticks to my arms. I start to back away slowly. The only thing that could make this moment more embarrassing since my body has ceased cooperating with me is if I were to fall flat on my face. Instead, the pointy heel of my shoe catches on the carpet and I windmill backward. Tommy moves lightning fast and catches me, falling short of sweeping me into his strong, capable arms, smart to keep me at a distance because of the ill-positioned frosting. Yes, it's still as intact as royal icing on a gingerbread house. His hands are large and rough, his grip firm and sure. The muscles supporting me are as solid as marble. My stomach does acrobatics. My cheeks burn like I've been doing the same. This isn't a natural dewy glow. No, it's like I'm in a kitchen with 5 ovens blazing on a 90-degree day. "Mary?" he asks. "What a surprise to see you here." My eyes must be as big as saucers. This is not how I imagined this would go. There he goes with that flirty half-smile again. "You imagined?" Against my deepest desire to remain in Tommy Costa's embrace, I wriggle out from his grip and smooth my dress. "No, I meant, well, I temporarily lose myself in those espresso brown eyes." From a few feet away, someone calls, "Marilee?" I turn to see a stout woman with curly salt and pepper hair. "I didn't know you were working here again. My, the Hawkins higher-ups are getting mighty creative with their employee uniforms. Is Cece to blame? They couldn't fit me into something like that. You look very fancy. Anyway, I'd love to order a pie from you for Christmas. Cookies I can do, but my specialty doesn't lie in crusts. My sisters each want one too. The pumpkin pie at Thanksgiving was out of this world. Let the season of eating begin. Plus, I'm running the seasonal welcome center on the edge of town. I'm offering cookies, but pies would be a nice addition." She rubs her hands together like she's cooking up an idea. "Oh, hi, Mrs. Kringle, thank you." I internally thank her for interrupting the most awkward moment of my life with her chatter. "Well, don't let me hold you up. Looks like you need to go find an apron, and I'll be in touch about that pie order. Figure on 6. No, make that 8. My smile falters because, at the moment, my non-existent pie-making business is the least of my problems. Tommy Costa stands so close I'm convinced that my favorite scent is no longer the baking of apples in a buttery crust. No, it's this man's spicy masculine aftershave, if only it were edible. Mrs. Kringle disappears around the corner. I was a guest at... My jaw trembles anew under Tommy's gaze as I try to explain that I don't work here, at least not currently. I film over my shoulder in the direction of the wedding. "I know, you were one of Cassie's bridesmaids. I was surprised to see you here after all this time. Figured you'd be in there since I hear they're tossing the bridal bouquet any minute. He looks down and smooths his tie as if stopping himself from saying more. Is that a reminder that he made out on my dorm bed with the girl who I thought was my good friend? After I thought that maybe, just maybe, we had a little spark? A little special something? Okay, I didn't realize the spark at the time. That was a hindsight thing, a broken heart thing, not to mention the marriage pact and all the time we spent together becoming close friends. The emptiness in my stomach hardens. Hawkridge Hollow is my hometown. Funny that Cassie decided to say I do here of all places. I didn't even have to travel. The light little laugh I try for after trying to explain myself sounds more like a piece of metal caught in a window fan. Tommy quickly glances up and meets my eyes, reminding me that my chest is covered in cupcake frosting. If that weren't the case, or if he weren't him, I might behave like a normal human and ask him something friendly like, "How have you been?" With splayed fingers, I motion towards the frosting. I should take care of this. We should catch up, he says at almost the same time. I nod slowly. Yeah, sure, okay. Having forgotten about the issue with my shoe, I jerk forward, but catch myself this time. Tommy is at the ready, but I hold my hands to indicate that I've got this, and because I'm afraid if I dare open my mouth to speak, I might say something ridiculous like, "Let's ditch this popcorn stand." Those were the first corny dad joke-esque words he spoke to me at a freshman year orientation event during college. In his defense, the popcorn machine caught on fire and it smelled awful. It became our catchphrase, an inside joke. See you inside, he points toward the ballroom door. Can't wait to catch up. And I can hardly catch my breath as I kick off my heels and sprint toward the elevator like a runaway bridesmaid, because if I let myself linger, I'll soon be longing for the guy that got away. And that was the prologue and the first chapter from Tommy and Mary and the 12 Days of Christmas, which is available in ebook and paperback, as you can see. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you continue reading. I'm not sure when it will be available on audiobook, but hopefully sometime in the future. And let me know if you get yourself a copy. The book 2 will be out on August 15th, so look for Bruno and Gloria's story. It's Grumpy Boss, Little Miss Sunshine, Christmas Sunshine kind of thing. And I thank you all for joining me.